Well, hello. It looks like everyone has been really enjoying my Don't Starve Together, my favorite mods. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go through and I'm going to individually explain the mods that I have and the reason why I have them on my list and why I kind of pick and choose between them. A few people have kind of commented saying, I liked that you did the video, but it felt very rushed. The reason why I did it like that is because I just wanted to quickly go through and say, hey, these are my favorite mods. If you would choose, go ahead and choose them, feel free. The reason why I did that is just because I wanted to be nice and quick about it. But I'm going to go through and explain them about maybe 5 or 10 seconds each. Just to kind of go over each individual one. So once again, client mods are for what you have on your computer. So if you have, you don't have to have, nobody else is going to see what you use these when you connect to a server. Server mods are when people connect to your server. So if you have a server mod enabled and you go to connect to somebody's game, obviously that's not going to be there. But if you have a client mod and you connect to somebody's game, that's when it's going to be there. So let's go over these again. So the save slot mod, you no longer need anymore because Clay recently added that in. I should probably actually remove this mod, but that's okay. Any of the mods that are actually wanting to be removed, in order to remove them, you go to your more info page down here, click that, go into unsubscribe and get rid of the mod. I like to keep it subscribed because it gives the mod creators a little bit more noticeability on the workshop. And in my opinion, the save slot mod was there a long time before Clay ever added that fix in there. So I just kind of feel like giving them a little bit of help. Action Queue Reborn, aka Action Queue Reborn number 2, recently came out, and that now has the ability to basically, you can plant a bunch of things, you can pick up a bunch of things, you can chop a bunch of things. It's exactly how it sounds. It queues up a bunch of actions. You can hold shift to highlight a bunch of areas to pick up things. You can hold shift when you're holding an axe to chop a bunch of trees. It's one of the most helpful mods I've ever used. I don't have that bad of carpal tunnel, but every now and then my hand kind of cramps up, and this mod is so good. A lot of people also say things like, oh, you shouldn't use mods, it takes away from the game. These are the type of mods that I feel like if you're using, you should feel happy using them because they help in the long run. I'm telling you, they really do. I used to sit there and literally click, 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 click to open them up, to do certain things in the game. And I feel like this mod has saved my hand. So huge shout out to Action Queue Reborn for doing such a great thing. So that's one of the mods that I suggest. Admin Scoreboard gives you admin in the game. You can kick people, you can stop fires from happening, you can give people different things like that. It's a great mod to have. I would highly recommend it. It's your basic thing with easy displays. There are more in-depth mods for admin stuff, but honestly, it's a straightforward one. That's all you really need. Teleport players to you and go to players, and that way it's really nice. Boss indicator tells you where bosses are. Combined status is once again where it combines all your stats, tells you where things are, for example, is autumn almost done, is winter almost done, all that stuff built into that mod. Craftpot recipes. Unfortunately, this mod is very, very, very finicky. I used to use it, but it crashed my game all the time, so I stopped using it entirely. Basically, you put a bunch of stuff in a crockpot, it'll say, hey, the output of this is going to give you wet goop or something like that, or it'll be a meatball. Critipet mute, I don't use this anymore because I use idea testing that actually mutes my creatures, and that gets rid of it. Nautical HUD, once again, these are all HUD mods. They're all aesthetic. They don't do anything specific other than change the way that your game looks. Flashing disabler, once again, is now built into DST, so you actually have the removal of flash because they help those with epilepsy and other sensitivity to light, which, funny enough, was actually a huge recommendation by myself. Not to say they listened to me specifically, but I was one of the people one of many that hated the lightning flashing in DST, and I'm sure that Clay finally realized that and said, you know what, enough's enough, let's take this out of the game. Geometric placement, I kind of briefly touched on it. Basically what it does is it sets up a grid, and it puts things within a grid so you can know exactly where to place things, so it looks very eye-pleasing. It's one of the best mods out there, probably one of the most original mods that's ever been on DST. It's a must-have if you want things to be nice and aligned. It also works hand-in-hand with geometric placement. Sorry, with Action Queue Reborn. So geometric placement and Action Queue Reborn, they work hand in hand together. They'll align to grid if you're planting stuff, so it's really nice. Gesture wheel, hold G, and your character will do a dance, whatever the heck you want to do with easily selecting them instead of doing backslash and typing in what you need. Victorian HUD, once again, is a HUD. Hamlet color cubes make the game look like Hamlet colors. Idea testing. This is very in-depth. When you go in here, you can do literally anything. So you could say, hey, look, I don't want to see my insanity anymore. I play with insanity filter off because I hate the insanity filter. A lot of characters in Don't Starve Together are consistently insane the entire time. It ruins the gameplay, especially like trying to know like what's going on, and I just don't like it. I'm mostly insane in the game anyways, so like DST, most characters end up being insane, so that's a great thing to have, and it offers multiple millions of different things. For example, where is it at? Bird trap wrestling. Okay, this is one of those things where every time a bird is like caught inside of and caught in like a little net, it won't make a rustling noise. Dwarf star active, so when the dwarf star is around, it makes like a weird buzzy noise. It's like bzzz, and if you're standing next to it, it's very annoying. So all these little things just help a lot. Like glommer buzzing, oh man, it's crazy. So anyways, yeah, just something to kind of look forward to. Minimap HUD, it makes a little mini map on there. I don't really like playing that with it. I feel like it gets in the way a lot of the times. People love it though. 64 players, a must-have if you want to have more than the default amount of players. Oni dynamic music makes background music become Oni. I liked it at first. Honestly, after a while, I was kind of just like, I really miss the DST music. Not that I ever listened to it. Persistent compass HUD. Honestly, I don't know why this mod is here. I've used it maybe once combined with another mod. Let's take a look at this actually while we're here. Funny enough, persistent compass HUD. Oh, okay. So it just keeps the compass up like the entire time. So basically what it does is it opens up the ability to see like if you're wanting to know if you're going north, blah, 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 all that stuff. So that's kind of just something cool to have. Pig Ruin HUD, obviously it's a HUD mod. Quick Drop is now built into the game, so no longer needed. Seasonal color cubes, just like the Hamlet color cubes, but it's meant for like a shipwreck kind of style. Show nicknames, really cool. Just if you have a bunch of people in the game, you can be like, hey, you're so-and-so, 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 so-and-so. Special events HUD, basically if you want to say, hey, I want it to be a winter event, or I want it to be this, you can change it while the game is actually active. Pretty nice. Status announcement, I never use this, but if somebody's ever carrying a bunch of rocks and they're like, hey, I have 52 rocks in my inventory, you can click a button and tell you. Lunar HUD, same thing. Verdant HUD, oh, this mod is so nice. I'm telling you, if you want your game to look really, really nice, this mod and both the Victorian HUD are my favorites. I love those mods. So it's currently the one that I'm using. Transparent map widget. Basically, if you want your map to like not block out everything when you press M, you can use that. I used to use it, I don't anymore. Quick heals for war talks, so good. You press one key and you literally drop your soul on the ground. It's really nice. Okay, so server mods that I would recommend. Add shovel. You can opt to do this. You don't have to. It lets you basically move anything around, cactus included and all that stuff. Epic health bar. You can go and fight bosses, and when you do, you get a really cool health bar at the top. It kind of makes the game more interesting instead of just having like a generic health bar, I guess, if you really want to go with like the other mods. The add shovel mod, I'll go back to that real quick. It does let you pick up like certain things like light bulbs and blah 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 blah. But overall, I don't know if you want to play with that. I would say maybe don't do that right away, but like down the road if you want to. People say that it's broken, meaning like you're not supposed to be able to move cactus around. Sure, that's understandable. I like to play with it though because I play with like weird mods where Jack can kind of destroy my whole base. So relocating cactus and stuff for the time being is good because people can eventually just burn it down if they want to. I like having like a lot of chaos on my builds, so it's really interesting in that way. So it's really, you know what, when it comes to mods, you do whatever you want to do. Don't ever let people make you feel bad for having mods. Global positions lets people see each other on the map. The bonus about global positions is you can actually choose if you wanted to share map or not. So if you're experiencing lag with this mod, you can actually disable share map. So if I'm over here and I'm exploring a bunch of the forest, and what's going to happen is everybody else on the map is going to be like, oh, hey, look, it's all showing up and it's all actively sending to each other. So this mod could lag you a lot if you don't have the adequate amount PC. So turn off share map. It'll still show where people are on the map. It just won't update the fog of war. Insight mod is a great mod. The mod creator is awesome as well too. Penguin, huge shout out. The problem with Insight mod though is it's very laggy. It tells you literally everything. So it'll say like this piece of grass in this blah 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 blah, and all these things. It's gonna tell you how long till it wilts, all this stuff. And a lot of computers can't keep up with that information, especially if they're on low like internet and stuff like that. So you can lag a lot with it. So Right now, we've opted to actually use the Show Me mod because the Show Me mod's just generic. It tells you basic stuff. The Insight mod is more in depth. There are options in the Insight mod to like kind of take it down a notch. And I know that I've recommended to Penguin to make like a minimum like, you know, medium and maximum descriptions, because it would help to people like press a button and like it only shows them like certain stuff, because there's literally so many options within the Insight mod. Lazy Furnace is really nice. You can actually go through the process of putting a bunch of meat in like the Lazy Furnace, instantly cooks it in a second, rather than sitting on a fire and going cook. It really helps a lot when like you have a 40 stack of berries, or if you have like 600 berries, because you could sit there forever just cooking. It's such a great mod to have. It also heats up your thermostone in a matter of a split second. So when we're playing in a world with like 14 people and everyone's sitting there around one little campfire, you put your thermostone in there and you press the heat up button and your thermostone spits it right out. Let's Play Together is for chaos and streams, so basically people can interact with me. I play with that all the time, so if you ever want to see it in action, you can always hang out with me on Twitch. No grounded snow, remove snow during winter. I don't really like snow in winter because I feel like it ruins the way the game looks, but of course, during Christmas time, IRL, I always leave it on. No thermostone durability. I hate that thermostones have durability, so I actually play with this. Eventually down the road, I can guarantee thermostone durability would be gone. Nobody, like, unless you're like a really against mods, most people play with this mod. Set piece config, you can basically put the set pieces that are in the game automatically rather than like just by luck. So there's things like Dev Graveyard and a bunch of like hound traps and stuff like that, and you can play around and add them in. Show Me mod is what I said before. It tells you like your boss HP. It tells you what things are inside different chests as well too. So like inside mod as well too. So if you're holding like some sticks or twigs or grass or whatever, it'll be like, hey, your twigs are in this box. Such a great mod. Inside mod and this mod, I kind of recommend the Show Me mod right now. Inside mod definitely needs a little bit more work to be a little more stabilized. Every time I enable Inside mod with more than 8 people on my server, and I normally have around 14 to 16 players, because I allow anybody to play with me, it literally lags too much, so Show Me mod is the next best thing. Simple health bar is so good. It literally tells you your health bar over top of your head by like little hearts. You can customize them as well too. It also tells you the health bar of like little character or little creatures in the game as well too. Very nice mod if you are playing with friends. Architect mod, basically I don't play with it, but it is really cool to have. It has everything in the game, so like all the structures that you've ever imagined in Hamlet and all that stuff. The Thumper mod is basically from Wagstaff from Hamlet. It's a huge thumper. It comes down, smashes a bunch of stuff. You can use it for cutting trees and opening up little stone fruits as well too. Tropical Experience is a mod that lets you play Hamlet, Shipwrecked, customizable maps. I'm using it right now for my Hamlet Tropical Experience, or sorry, my Hamlet multiplayer mod, which I've been streaming and also recording on Twitch right now. And I'm also going to be using it after I'm done with Hamlet for the Shipwrecked multiplayer on YouTube as well too. Wavis mod, haha, it's me. It actually is me. This is 100% me. Somebody from my community named Railgun actually modded myself into the game. So if you ever want to experience it, you can go ahead and test it out. I might actually showcase this mod specifically in another YouTube video. Wormhole markers is really cool. You go through one, it says, hey, there's a purple wormhole. They kind of have it built into the game right now, but you have to use a clean sweeper on it in order for them to show up. I don't really like that. So this mod's literally like you go through it, it shows up pink. Oh, hey, I gotta go through the pink portal to go over there. Additional set piece is actually the same as set piece config, just a little bit different. Honestly, they both offer two different things. I like set piece config. Additional set piece is just if you want more. API Gem Core is an old mod that they used to use back in the day. They don't really go that, like, it's not really that recommended right now anymore. But like, I don't even think you really need it anymore, but it was for a game called Island Adventures. And what they ended up doing, it was for Island Adventures, they needed the API Gem Core in order to run properly, but that's no longer a thing. So I wouldn't really worry too much about that. So it's like I said, it's just something that I used back in the day. Asset Manager Server. So what that is, sorry, give me one quick moment. I think it didn't like when I clicked on, that for some reason. I clicked on my the API Gem Core and it must have not liked it. I don't know if the mod is no longer exists or something. So stay with me for a second. But I will explain that asset manager for the server. What that actually is a. Give me one second. I'm gonna reopen it. It's a way of reducing your. It's a way of reducing the lag on your server. So a lot of people use it if they really want to reduce the amount of lag. I personally like only use it if I'm having a huge problem. Generally, what ends up happening is when you go to enable it, you're supposed to kind of partner with mods that slow you down, i.e. like the Tropical Experience mod and stuff that uses like a lot of RAM. I've never had to use it, but I've used it temporarily to try like different mods out and to see if it works better. So you can use it if you find that you're lagging, but I don't use it ever. Auto Hound reset, really straightforward. It resets your hound traps, pretty cool. Beefalo widget mod, it adds a little widget underneath your Beefalo. Really neat to know their HP and their like tame level and all that stuff. It's really cool actually. I don't know why I don't use it that often. I think I used it for like 2 weeks and I stopped. Berries and trees and flowers. This is a mod for aesthetically pleasing stuff. I don't use it. Bone meal. Don't just ignore this mod. It's just, I don't use it anymore. You fertilize your crops with bones. If you have like a world with 1 million bones in it, you can use that. Battle Royale spread items. If you want to have a fun PvP map, you can basically select and you can join into a world with like a bunch of handbats on the ground. Cavemen. I don't remember this mod, but apparently you like only can use blueprints to find stuff or something. Blueprints spawn in and you go around and you see the blueprints in order to build stuff. Change characters lets anybody change characters by pressing P inside the game. It's for PvP most of the time. Chester family mod, pretty cool. It makes a bunch of different chesters. I don't really like this mod. I play with it and they make these weird like utilities. So instead of the eye bone, it's like a little fork or a spoon. It looks tacky in my opinion. So I don't really do that often. Cinnabon, awesome mod, really cool. It's a custom character mod from actually Snapdragon. Customized it herself. She's actually a member of our community, so she recommended this mod. It's really cool. Colorful fireflies, awesome mod. You can actually make fireflies by you can actually craft them as well too, and you can change them into different colors. So beautiful. Does lag the world a little bit though. Craftable Gorge Turf, don't use this mod. It actually crashes the game. I don't know why I still have it. Craftable Gravestone, you can craft gravestones. Craftable Runes Turf, you can make Runes Turf. It works fine. Creeps in the Deep is made by the same creators that makes the Tropical Experience mod. Pretty interesting. I've never played it. Creeps in the Deep, it's kind of the same idea, both of them. DST Legion mod is a big game in itself. It kind of adds a bunch of different things to DST. I played it once. It adds like a new boss and the way the bosses spawn in. I haven't played it since maybe 2018, so I can't really talk too much about it there. Eternal Glow Caps, pretty straightforward. It makes your mush lights and glow caps endlessly. They just last forever. Extra equip slots means that you can wear a backpack and chest armor at the same time. Fast travel GUI, you set up a sign here and a sign here, and you can teleport over to those signs. Pretty cool if you're playing with like a bunch of people that don't care about like weird teleporter. Fueled Lazy Deserter, really good for single player. Basically, you fuel up a Lazy Deserter, it stays on, you're playing by yourself, boom, you run over to the other Lazy Deserter. It's really nice if you're playing solo. Or if you're playing with people too. Furniture Mega Pack adds a bunch of furniture to DST. Global Pause is if you want to pause a game when others are in the server. You press a button and it pauses the server. I would not recommend this mod. It actually crashes every now and then. Gnome Nades is partnered with the Wavis mod, where you can actually toss nades made out of gnomes. Pretty cool. It's actually a custom mod made by Railgunner, same person that made the Wavis mod, aka my mod for the workshop. Gorge Crops, no longer a thing because they're actually kind of built into DST now, so I would ignore that. Gorge Lights, pretty cool. You can add little gorge lights to your mod. Hamlet Disguise mod, well, you don't need it, but you could actually add it to your game if you want Weber to walk around and not get attacked by pigs. Same with any other character that gets normally attacked by pigs. Hamlet characters for a Hamlet multiplayer mod. Hamlet House beta, unfortunately I don't think it works very well, but it brings Hamlet houses into the game as well too. Hamlet stuff does work, I think, but the Architect pack is better because it includes literally everything. Harder biomes. I've tried this before. It doesn't work anymore, but basically it makes everything a lot harder in DST. Same with hard mode as well too. You can see that I like a lot challenging stuff on DST. Health Info is an older mod that I used to use, but now I use Show Me mod. This was like the basically the before Show Me mod ever existed. If It in Christmas Lights makes Christmas Lights last forever. Island Adventures is, as far as I know, no longer in production, but it's a basically tropical experience, aka Shipwrecked, built into DST. Leggy Bird mod, really weird, makes their legs have like little fishnets on their legs. If you want something that looks ridiculous, feel free to turn on this mod. Less Hungry Critters basically makes your pets not make any noise because they're no longer hungry. Limit prefabs kind of helps with basically the same thing as the server mod to limit how much things are on the ground and stuff like that to reduce lag. Magic bottle lanterns. This mod does lag a lot, but it makes things look really cute and colorful. You can make little lanterns that shine. More armor adds bone armor and like a bunch of random stuff that you would normally not see, like stone armor and random stuff. More sculptures makes more sculptures, more stuff. When you're hacking and slashing at trees, sorry, I think not trees. I think it's rocks specifically, you get more rocks out of it. So if you're finding your worlds are consistently running out of resources pretty quick, most stuff is kind of the mod for you. New tents makes a bunch of new tents that last longer. New walls make a bunch of new walls. No grass geckos removes grass geckos from the game, but you can actually do that now anyway, so there's no use for this. Party HUD is pretty cool. It makes a little HUD down here and it shows you everyone's HP. I used to use it, but it lags a lot now, so I don't use it anymore. Permanent nightlight makes the nightlight last forever. Pet statues, pretty straightforward, brings statues to the game. Potted plants, same situation, straightforward, let you pot plants. Pugless item grinder. Basically, I've always asked for a way of having like a disposable garbage dump inside of DST, so that way you can just toss your items in instead of things that can't burn up. This is it. You basically toss it in. Once it's there, it's gone forever. PvP turf. Anytime somebody steps on it, they can attack each other. Really cool. Quick pick mod. If you want to pick up things in a split second and not have to wait for your character animation to finish, you enable this. Boom, you're ready to go. Realistic placement. This basically lets you put things really close. So if you've ever had a Fling-O-Matic try to go right next to a chest, you have to be like a certain distance. This lets you put it right next to it. It's actually kind of something that I think DST will eventually have down the road. Reforge lets you play the Forge mod back normal without any issues. Regurgitate the same situation. You get to play the Gorge, which is kind of like its own little mini game. Reign of Runts is a added thing where you can play new characters. Pretty cool. You can play as a D-Fly, the Bearger, stuff like that, a bunch of bosses. Renewable Graves lets you go back and pick up graves every now and then, rather than them just like the trinkets are gone, they don't go back. Reskin Tam O'Shanters, which are actually a thing in the game now, but they let you change colors. Shipwrecked Characters is for Shipwrecked mods. Simple Health Bar DST is an old school one. I play with a newer one. This is an older one. Simply Turf. I don't know what this does. Don't know why that's here. Super Hound Waves makes it so hounds that keep attacking, eventually down the road, they'll actually cause a lot of damage, and they'll send things that are not just hounds at you. Pretty cool if you want a challenge, honestly. Super Wall DST, I would highly recommend not using this mod. It actually crashes and makes the game very laggy, but you can make things go down and up like different walls. Pretty cool. Takumi mod, it's a character mod, pretty interesting. The arena, I played with this once. Basically you go around and like, I think it made an arena for us for challenges, like you could just like fight each other in it. I never use it anymore. Craftable pack, I don't really know what that does. The Gorge extension was like an old school thing that brought Gorge items to your world. I don't use it anymore. Gorge stuff, these two mods crash my game. The Wadger mod is something that I don't use anymore, but I tried it before with a friend named Grunky. Triple McTusk mod adds Triple McTusk guaranteed to your world spawn in. Tropical Experience is an old mod. There's a newer Tropical Experience single mod by itself. Turf mod used to work great. It basically adds a ton of random turf into your game, but it crashes as well too. The Gemcore patch does fix it, made by Zark. So if you want to play it, you have to have Gemcore and then enable this, and then it'll work. I don't use it anymore though. Uncompromising mode makes the game extremely hard, like unforgiving, and if you want a crazy challenge, go ahead and enable it. Deerclops, game mode lets you play as literally the Deerclops while your friends run around. Pretty funny. Showing the minimap doesn't need to be there anymore, but it used to show the set pieces and stuff. And then last but not least, this is a challenging mode, which I've never played on, but it's kind of cool. I have seen it in action. And there you go. There's all my mods that I use. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's more in depth than my 3-minute video for my mods, but there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will catch you guys in the next video, and thanks again for watching me and following me on Twitch TV. If you guys want to join Discord, the link's in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the video, and tell me what mods you enjoy. Have a good one, everyone. See you guys in the next video.